Welcome back everyone to Splash Peak, our indoor water park. In the last episode we started with our log flume mountain, and today we are going to do the full interior area or the inside area of that mountain, including a lot of details, little DARKRIDE sections, and a little special kind of area towards the end in direction of the station. So let's do that. But before we start, a little note from the sponsor of the channel, which is Instant Gaming. And you know, you can get games for a good value, specifically also Nintendo stuff at the moment, which may not be the worst idea. And you go and have a good customer support. You can find DLCs, you can find upgrade packs, or you can even find gift cards or in-game currency at a great value. You can click the link in my description. You do help me directly. That's pretty cool because I get a tiny bit of the value and also reaching my limit. So let's get on with the episode. Alright, little hint before, today is going to be a bit of a different Rudi episode because I won't be with you for the full voiceover. There's a bit of music in between, so around 5-ish minutes to, I don't know, 14-ish minutes, because the videos turned out longer than I expected, longer than I planned for the holidays, and I need to kind of eat some time away by making shorter voiceovers. Otherwise, I won't be able to do all these videos for you guys in time. I'm struggling to get in. I had a couple of computer issues. Nothing you need to care about right now. We do care about this ride, and we are carving out a lot of things today. Also, we are carving out a bit of the terrain here from where the new ride goes. I figured there's one thing I haven't said in the last episode, and I'm almost sorry that I didn't. I thought it was so obvious that I didn't need to, but the reason why we are building a log flume now and not anything else, not a coaster, not whatever, is that simple. It's because they finally look good. It's because the last update gave this whole thing such a mega nice transition into good looking waters. Hey, that is so good, isn't it? I am absolutely in love with this. It's amazing. It's really good. And I also need to say that looking at those, it just kind of sparks my creativity. Sometimes it's that simple. Sometimes you just need to have the looks that it looks good. On the other hand, I'm sorry that I dipped back into it, but how was that possible that they released it with such a, I mean, that was a work in progress texture. But I'm also like, why wouldn't they need use the Planet Coaster 1 then? I mean, I don't get it. Okay, let's not think too much about it. We have a beautiful new texture now. Looks fantastic, way better than Planet Coaster 1, all goody. But yeah, I'm still confused. Also, we have the new rocks, which make a good job in here. They have the perfect texture. They have a very nice texture, I must say. And I'm loving the shading. I love the fact we can flexi-color them in all directions we want to. I'm also making like a little bit of an escape way here to add a tiny bit of realism. You know, this project isn't all about realism. I just want to have a couple of things here and there to just sell the idea of realism in a way, I guess, you know. Just kind of make that very subtle so that it doesn't look fully fantasy, so it could be a believable ride, but I'm not going to spend too much time making every single bit here. We'll get there in the future. I want to do something hyper realistic, but I guess what I'm doing, and you can go in the comments and comment on that idea. It's not for now. It's very much for the future. But what would you think about the like one-off project, like building one coaster and one station and making sure that everything about this is like mega realistic with like all shelters and, you know, maintenance areas and all this kind of stuff would be lovely, I guess. But like I wouldn't do that for the whole park. I would do this for the one-off or so. I think that's a great idea. But yeah, so I also kind of did a couple of things here in order to make sure that we kind of create the entire area for the ride, and we did work a lot with the flashlight turned on. In case you don't know, on the L key on your keyboard you can activate the in-game flashlight. That's kind of something that you must utilize if you build indoors nowadays because of the global illumination, which I keep repeating in almost every single episode is one of the bestest additions to the game, and you have to make use of it, but therefore you need to work with the lights on mode with flashlight for the most part in order to just give it the best, yeah, just overall appeal. I guess this is really important, otherwise you'll not be able to get the most out of this game. Yeah, but you will also tell or be able to tell that this also makes for a very cool ride. These rides specifically are very nice when it comes to a dark ride, and the main reason for that is they are slow. Why is that? Okay, so we have a little bit of an issue with the global illumination in this game. The time it takes to the game to adapt from very bright to very dark is relatively, I want to say, unrealistically long. If you go from a very, very dark room and you go into full sunlight, it takes a while until your eyes kind of adapt to the new environment, until you can see clear again. And you also know that in very bright sunlight, sometimes it's really hard to see overall. However, this mostly takes a second, maybe two, but usually not more than that. In this game, this whole act kind of takes up to 10 seconds sometimes even, or like 5 to 6 to 7 to 8, 10. I don't know. It depends a little bit on how rough the situation or the color change is. I haven't figured exactly a specific time. It's different depending on different situations. But I wish this would be much quicker for coasters as well. Because with the coaster as well, it wouldn't also be the case that you go in and you have a magic kind of night vision to see in the dark all of a sudden. But this is how the game kind of works. If you go very quick into a DARKRIDE section, and you are only like for 6-7 seconds within that dark area, it's not going to appear super dark on the on-ride. That is a bit of a pity. But now with these rides, and this is why I'm making use of some glowing stuff here, with this ride, it's different because it's very slow and you will have adapted to this lighting conditions very early on. So that is why I made this kind of pre-lift hill section where we are entering a dark area, and then after the dark area is there, well, you gotta find out, because that is something we talk about later. Now the music kicks in, enjoy the next couple minutes of music, and then I'll be with you towards the end of the time lapse. Right, as this song is ending, here is Rudi back again, and you have seen a lot of stuff has happened. We've built a couple of indoor sections, and now the last section we're working on after this kind of trick area where the whole boat rotates, and you've seen me struggle with the settings of these platforms. Now, the reason why I was struggling is because we can't set the timing on them, and it's every single time I'm doing this, I'm like, Frontier, just give us more options about these platforms. I mean, they added these 3 platforms to the game, which I think are revolutionary. But then again, they don't give us the tools to make them actually revolutionary. They have a couple of options how they rotate and how they move, that's all fine. But then they only have the option medium, slow, and fast. But how about just give us a real timer? Let's say, how long does take one rotation on that rotating piece? Well, let's set us a time, like in the sequencer or so. Or the same goes with the up and down movement. And let us set pauses, let us set new idle states and so on. That is something we would need for having these, and make some trick doors and so on a lot more nice. As you've seen, the struggle was real. Over here, we're doing now 2 jails. Like actually it's 1 jail, but like 2 different segments of it. Because I just figured a jail would be nice in here. I gotta admit, I didn't really have a full story, as in a story-driven approach in here. And the reason for that is, while I was thinking about this, I'm like, okay, I don't have the exact pieces I need for that, or the exact characters, which could lead to 2 ways. Either I go for route number 1, which is just go with the theme that the game offers, like Western, for example, or build your own theme that I had in mind, but then spend another 12 hours only building characters. And I decided for an in-between solution. I'm kind of trying to sell an idea of a random kind of weird rooms, while having some of the characters in game to get this whole thing a bit of life. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not the perfect solution. I will do something else story driven very soon, which is a lot more intricate and a lot more on point. And for this one, I went the lazy route. I'm gonna be honest with you, I went the lazy route because I only had so much time to prepare for the holidays. And well, it's not a shortcut even. This build took a lot of hours, way more than I expected it to be. So well, that's that. Let's have a look how this step looks in-game, because you want to see it, I want to see it again, and we'll see each other after the cut. Welcome to the real-time part, guys, and oh, I'm so excited to bringing that to you, because this is our wonderful DARKRIDE section of this one. You've seen me building this today, but let's fly through here a little to get the idea. There's a log coming up here, and you start your journey. As you can see, we come in here from the station. You're sitting in, you're having a bit of an entrance area here where it all looks nice, and then you go up, you build the attention, you build the kind of excitement. You come up here, if you look to the left hand side, you have that like glowing bits over here. I'm not sure if people would be able to see it though. Let's have a look. They come up here. Ah, well, they will be able, if they turn around their heads now, they will be able to see. This is so cool. Okay, so then from over here, the flume is, or like the lock is just gonna be left inside of that. It looks a bit weird over here, a bit of plants, little different colors, just making sure it, hold on. Why does that look like a stormtrooper's helmet? See that? This is like where there's the eye, this is where the nose is, this is the forehead, and okay, I'm confused. Anyways, this is the stormtrooper area. Then we have a little bit of an animatronic standing over here. As I said, I went a bit like freestyle with a couple of rocks. We have our exit gate over here that you don't really see that from the log. You need to just, you're focused on the left hand side. You don't really look to the right hand side. This is the idea, you know. There you go. Ah, gosh, love it. And then you go all the way down here. You've got another lovely bit of indoor section. I think it really turned out beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Oops. What did I do? Okay. Hold on. What just happened? Hold on, play. There you go. Not sure what happened over there. But yeah, so this is that, and it just works very well. You can have a little peek outside. You don't really see that much because we are pretty high up, but you get the idea that you're still inside of the dome. And then turning around here, it goes all the way up into a bit of a nice outdoor section. Look at that. On top of that peak mountain, you get a bit of a view, which I intentionally built that way. So you go around this corner, and then This leads you all the way around here. Another couple of windows to peek outside. Then you come into a bit of a turntable area where your log is rotated a bit. You know, you do rotate to the right hand side. Bit of a nice thing here, just while you can watch outside and have this insane view of the main structure of the dome, which is exactly the positioning reason for that one. And then you follow along, you go up here into a bit of a different section where you are very high up. You can watch outside of the dome, which is also looking pretty damn cool. And then it goes into the main splash that is going to be revealed over here. And this look over here will change dramatically in the future. It's going to look so much better. There's our flume coming. Look at that. Bam! And then we go down. Splash. Oh, I'm loving that. I'm loving that, how it's paired with people around. And yeah, but that's not it, you know, that's not fully it. You can also go around here. And then if you go inside of here, this is going to be done next episode fully. There's already a bit of a starting point. I said that I was really struggling with getting the timing right. So we have a look at the inside here. So it's turning around, and now this should slide up now. Does it? Yeah, there you go. This one, but again, I used the other one and it comes down way too early still. It just works, you know, just about works. So there you go. I mean, it kind of works, but it is not the bestest ever realization of it. So I wish we get some more controls over that. And then we're out and making our way to the station, which is obviously going to be next episode's bit. But yeah, I'm very pleased with the inside. Also, we still have people trapped over here, but I'm very pleased with how this all turned out. I am also very pleased with this side. The only thing I haven't fixed, also not in the latest version, is going to be this pathway leading up here. I'm also kind of thinking just to put a gate in here and like leave it a day, you know, call it a day, put a gate in here and people will be able to climb up there. That's just how it is. And then this is where we have our lovely kind of rock formation in front. I do want to put like a pool or a flat ride down here because I think this looks very cool. To make it a flat ride on this spot would also make a lot of sense, because then the peak out over here makes sense too. This is going to be a door for the backstage access. This was intentionally made a bit more to the backside, so that's going to be a thing, and I'm also very pleased to see that in action. And yeah, so that's been it for the second episode. Now we can actually zoom a bit higher and I don't need to hide it anymore like in the last episode. Also, obviously from the outside, we now have a proper connection to it, you know, that's how it looks. A couple of trees I need to figure how they fit in perfectly fine, but yeah, it feels a lot more realistic now, a lot more steady, and I'm very pleased with how that worked out. So yeah, that's that, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed today's episode as well as you did last episode. In case you did and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please ensure to do so, because I would love to do more stuff for you and would love to see you here again. If you're a new viewer, maybe you come back, maybe you do subscribe and hit the bell. That would be lovely. Until then, have a good time and bye.